Other thing I wanted to touch on, Jordan, something that we tend to neglect here on the Voice of College Football Clemson channel, and more specifically, me and your show here, is special teams. I want to talk a little bit about special teams because Dabo mentioned something in his interview, and I'm sure you heard it because we both watched the interview. He talked about the inconsistencies so far this spring in our kicking and our punting game, which, as you know, gives me anxiety, right? I was not a big fan of our punting game last season. Our kicking game was just fine if you take out the last game of the season where BT Potter kind of, maybe had his worst season or his worst game as a Clemson Tiger, quite possibly. Um, but he was a great kicker for Clemson, no doubt about it. But we got a Robert Gunn. You got Swanson returning at punter, but there seems to be a lot of inconsistencies. Dabo talked about a lot of highs in the kicking game where they're thinking, okay, we have it figured out. These guys are hitting kicks left and right. And then there's some pretty major lulls, is kind of, what I got from his comments. What are your thoughts on the kicking game? Do you think Robert Gunn will kind of turn the corner, become, a BT Potter where, he came into Clemson, he was super inconsistent as well, and then became one of our most consistent kickers ever. Where do you see the kicking game going?
I mean, I think the world of Robert Gunn. I mean, I love the sign. I mean, the kid.
I know he has a huge leg. Like everybody talks about, the dude can kick, a million yards or whatever. So he's got the leg to hit any kick, but you got to kick it through the uprights, right?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I love. I mean, I love his leg. I think he's going to be a really nice kicker. It's one of those things, at the college level, you got to get acclimated and really just settle in. And sometimes it takes a lot of reps. It's just a different. I can't say this from experience, but I just know it's a different feel.
You're telling me you're not a former kicker?
No, unfortunately, no.
No?
I don't think I could kick a. Man, I'm not sure I could kick like a tennis ball.
You're telling me you didn't participate in any punt, pass, and kick contests when you were a kid? Come on now, come on, Joe.
No,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You were in at least one punt, pass, and kick contest.
Yeah, no, this absolute cannon for a leg that I have. Yeah, you already know about it. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah,
but but seriously, I do think it's just going to take more reps. That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
And it's not something I'm going to stress over too much. Just because I feel a lot better about the offense in general. I feel like kicking and punting, for that matter, is going to be a little less necessary. Hopefully, I think that's kind of the hope.
We would hope so, right?
Yeah.
Especially punting. We would hope that we need the punter a lot less than we have in recent times.
I do hope they've kind of made some tweaks on how they block, for their punts, because there were some moments last season. So I just, Aiden Swanson, I believe in him. I know he's still getting reps. Also heard good things about Jackson. Oh man, I'm forgetting his last name. Is it Jackson Smith? Whatever his name is. So he's got an awesome leg as well. But I hope the hope is that this special teams unit, takes a step forward this year. Because I felt like they did a good job. They were able to block some kicks and block some punts last year. But as far as the kicking aspect of it, it's just there's too many lapses in communication as far as blocking. Obviously, the punts themselves weren't that good at times. So you just got to take that next step. And we're early. There's still a lot of spring left to go. It's very, very possible that they find more consistency as the spring kind of goes on. I know that spring break is coming up. Woo! So they
Excited about that?
I'm very excited about that. I need the break too. I know they do, but I think that it's going to be good for them, and I'm not going to worry too much if we're still having the same. If Dabo is still coming out after, especially after like the spring game, when we watch the spring game and it's a mess again, it's going to be that's not going to be great. But there's still a lot of time left to go, and these things take time to kind of gel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, it's only spring. We have, summer workouts. You got fall camp. You got all sort of stuff where they can get experience. They can get, more repetition and all that kind of stuff, and become a little more dialed in on their accuracy. So it's not the worst thing ever, but I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about since that's like the one portion of the ball that we neglected the most when we did our live post game breakdowns. So I figured I'd give special teams a little love on the channel for sure.